were really excited. My older one was so excited to have a baby in the family. When she was born, I just came to know that something is not right.
It's disturbing for us to see our own children going through such a pain and suffering.
After 2 weeks, when I recovered a bit, they actually told me that there's no movement in the legs.
Tejpreet has spina bifida. From a physiotherapy perspective, it impacts her ability to feel anything from her waist down. So if you can't feel your legs or the lower part of your tummy, that makes, sitting and reaching for things when you're not fully supported really challenging.
Initially, it was very difficult to accept it. We always kind of thinking that why this is actually happened to us. Then we realized that maybe we are the chosen one, that God has seen that we are the one who can actually take care of Tejpreet better than others. So that's why Tejpreet was given to us. She's part of our family.
I've worked with Tejpreet and her family now for many years. My specialty within children's physiotherapy is to work with children with physical disabilities and babies. So Tejpreet can actually sit, but if you got her to reach out for something, she'd likely fall backwards. So she is really reliant on her wheelchair. Tejpreet has really strong arms, which is great because she self-propels all day, but she's reliant on her arms to get in and out of her chair. She wants to be as independent as possible. So for Tejpreet, she has to wear special splints on her feet to help keep her feet in a really nice position, because if they change, that could cause potential problems with pain or not fitting into typical shoes in the future.
She's always willing to get involved with all these sports. So we tried a lot. She tried swimming, but because of her condition, she was not able to continue it. Then we came to know about power chair football, and we went for trial.
I'm John Kelly. I'm chairman of Aspire Power Chair Football Club. We run 4 clubs. We start with the Aspire Lions, which is our junior team, and work through to the Aspire main team, which play at national level.
She was presenting herself there, and we saw a different Tejpreet.
Very quickly she took to the sport. She was in goal to begin with, and she just, her confidence grew. She just started to enjoy herself.
And the way back home, she asked me, "Dad, have you filled the form? I want to continue with this one."
They're on the same level playing field as everyone else. So typically if they're at school or a university or anything else in the other setting, they are different, of course, and for them that's something that they have to deal with on a daily basis. As soon as they come here, as soon as they come into the hall, they see everyone using a wheelchair, using a power chair. So straight away that mental element of them going, you know what, I'm the same as everyone else here. I don't have to prove myself. I don't have to be different, feel different or act different.
Because everybody's there so nice, and I like everything about it. Just like playing with everyone, meeting everybody.
Ultimately what happens in a club like this is once you progress, you're encouraged to get your own chair because we only have a limited amount of club chairs that new players can use. So we need to get that funding, and that's where people do get stuck. These chairs that Tejpreet uses can cost anywhere between 10,000 and 14,000, 15,000 pounds. Now, that's not your average pair of football boots or your shin pads.
One of The parent of the kids in the school, they introduced us with the Your One Wish charity to fulfill her Tejpreet's wish to have her own chair.
Your One Wish were approached by Tejpreet's family to our charity secretary. You know, when you're at that young age of early teens or younger even, and you're playing those sports, by being limited and not being able to play because you don't have a chair, you know, which means that you're missing out. And I didn't want Tejpreet, or any of my trustees didn't want Tejpreet to feel like she's missing out. The first time I saw Tejpreet, I kind of instantly drew to her with the energy that she gave, just with her smile and her passion and talent for the sport. I was won straight away.
Obviously there are all forms of disabilities, and usually for power chair football it's usually a physical disability that the players have. So right from the outset, from the moment they wake up, you know, everything is different. They have to, in terms of, you know, typical example of my son, there's a lot of physio involved, and I'm sure with Tejpreet and some of the other players, you know, a lot of massages, a lot of, you know, having to start the day by organising yourselves very properly, because you need to have everything ready, getting in and out of the cars, for example, to go to school. You know, almost right from the outset, everything has to be done slightly differently.
Initially when Sattai phoned me up and he said, look, we're doing a collection for this power chair, and he just met Tejpreet and her family, and the way he came across and he said everything to me, I said, look, don't waste your time going to anybody else, I'll do the whole chair.
Life is not about how much you have, it's how much you can give of what you have. I come from a sports background myself, and I've always been very active, and what I've always found is in any sport you play, once you're engaged and you're in the moment, whether it's football, whether it's cricket, whatever it is, you kind of lose sight of everything else in life, and it allows you to almost switch off but switch in to the sport.
It really does take their mind away from the day-to-day challenges and the day-to-day things that the condition will be difficult for them, and that's why a sport like power chair football is huge.
Very own amazing chair. You happy with it?
Without that sort of level of sponsorship and help, our club would struggle to exist. For these children, it's the inclusivity, it's the participating, it's being part of a team, it's being involved.
And see how proud Tejpreet and her parents are that she's gotten to this point, and you know, her siblings who are able-bodied have their own achievements, but this is something unique to Tejpreet.
I think now what she has got her own chair, she can actually train for full time. She will refine more skills and she will thrive in power chair football.
They try and make the most out of life, and I think, you know, a sport like this helps them with the mental attitude to say, well, if I can do this, then I can do anything. We do focus on drug development, we do focus on research, we do focus on standards of care and making sure, you know, that the condition itself is looked after. But that's not all it should be for a child or you know, someone who's growing up. It shouldn't just be about their condition, it should be about life.
Having, you know, charities and, you know, the FA potentially sponsoring children, or even acknowledging that wheelchair football or wheelchair sports exist, is really exciting opportunity. I know it's been around more so than ever, and you know, inclusive sports is becoming a thing, and Paralympics is televised and people are more aware, but it's still, you know, underfunded.
The fact that it's in a league and it's recognised by the FA, all these things are a driving force to why power chair football is growing and growing the way it is.
fact, we're honoured to be captained by the England captain, John Balding.
Whenever she looked to him, she always said that, okay, I want to be in an England team one day.
If I had one wish, I would be an England captain and to teach people how to play this sport.